screened in the first quarter. Ideal conditions for footy, although it is a little bit on the cool side, but there's no breeze to speak of. Good to see Monkhorst back into the side. Stevens, a late withdrawal for North Melbourne. Roos are going to get the first free kick of the game. McKernan goes up towards King at right half forward. King down towards full forward. Carey made for him. Absolutely had his name written all over that one. Perfect judgment by the North champ. And he marks, well, point-blank range.
Perfect setup, Pete. It really was. Getting that free out of the centre, going wide to space, and King just peeling that ball back, and Carey just read that beautifully. Shawble up a bit early. A bit anxious.
Not the start that Tony Shaw would have wanted. North Melbourne can bury you in 10 minutes if they get going. Carey should goal. He does. First half minute of the game, North away. 1 goal, 6 points. Collingwood yet to score.
Yes, and he's the sort of fellow that Collingwood would want to have confidence up early too, Wayne Carey. Big job for Shawble. And here's that free kick, and McKernan sensibly wide. King just takes off with his pace. Looks to have the job on Williams, does King. And there's your Shawble up just a bit early.
Also gave him a bit of meterage too, Ross, which is always a problem, especially with someone like Carey.
Richards, no, he's not. So Richardson looks as if he was going to go back onto Carey. No.
It'll be McKernan and is it Prestigiacomo in the ruck, Ross? Oh no, Monkhorst.
Monkhorst.
Yeah. Been out for a few weeks for the Woods. North Melbourne have kicked the first one in the first minute. McKernan's got the big thump out of the centre. Scotty Crowe, the ex-Hawk, across half-back, relieving the pressure for the Woods. Does it well. Prestigiacomo will take the mark on right half-back for Collingwood. Legs to kick long and inboard. Looking for Richardson, taken high, but the call is play on. Buckley, skillful but hard tackling from Archer. Very much like him. Mickey Martin in front of Sav Rocker, close to the boundary line. Push against Rocker in the back. And Michael Martin will take the free kick for North. Kicks backwards, giving away about 40 metres to Laidley. Giving away 40, but wanting to gain maybe 150 if they can do something right out of the back line here. Putting each other under pressure is David King. Monkhorst gets a foot, trips over.
50 metres he's going to get two.
Ordered against him.
A bit untidy, Russell, wasn't it?
Well, look, I think he might have stumbled, but still, it doesn't matter whether it's accidental or even on purpose. It was there. So David King will take 50 and take him up to that centre wing position. Monkhorst is still being spoken to by the umpire. He's been reported.
I think he might have had his number taken.
Yeah,
he has.
Monkhorst reported for...
Well, unduly rough play, I suppose.
Against David King. King gets on with the game. Carey behind Shawble, unable to take the mark. Should get in front. It's Wild and Bell underneath the pack. As the North Melbourne crowd went up again in anticipation for the King Carey to take another big one.
I'm glad Woolly's not playing out there. Would have been Wild and Woolly, Russ. It may still be later on.
Started early, Pete. Bell out from the ruck. Round the corner to Carey again. Identical position.
Gee, that's a clever mark, Russ. It really is. I mean, he had his eye on the ball the whole way. And Shawble did the right thing by being in front, but the ball carried him. He just couldn't get around quickly enough, and then Carey to control the footy as he did then. Outstanding.
Played under 4 minutes, and Carey will kick his second, and North Melbourne's second in this first term. On target again.
We spoke about it in our pre-match comments, Ross, that they were going to be in trouble height-wise, and it's already proved apparent down there, hasn't it?
Yeah, see, the first one he just read it better than Shawble, and that occasion just cleverly followed the fire. There was a good kick coming in too from Peter Bell, centred it very well, and then you see just pace of Carey. Shawble just tripping the last minute.
What about McKernan? That tap down to Bell was excellent, Ross.
A little bit of a test of strength down there.
Buckley's on him. Buckley's on Carey.
So back to the centre. Carey and Buckley having a bit of a dip. Collingwood badly needing a goal. King just about gets poleaxed in there. Plenty of weight being used, and they're still at it. Nathan Buckley would have really just about wrapped up Collingwood's best and fairest this year, wouldn't he?
Well, it's a big ask for Buckley. I know he's been in pretty good form, but he's giving away height and the whole bit.
Umpire coming over to speak to a couple of players. Collingwood getting fired up, but North have got the score on the board early through Carey, and 2 goals. A bounce just off the centre. Collingwood badly needing a score. Roberts added the congestion to half forward. About as far as they're going though at the moment. But there's going to be a whistle
in the centre, Pete.
Yeah, so I saw something through the corner of my eye. McDonald is going to get a free kick.
It's against Rock for some
indiscretion.
I was going to say that, thank you.
Krasiska takes the hand pass, so Collingwood into attack for the first time today. Rocker out-bustled, good tackle by Wild. Ball jarred free in that tackle. Oh, King!
Gee.
They're going in solidly.
That's hot. Oh.
High. North Melbourne free kick again. Well, I suppose if you apply aggression, it has to be better placed than that. So King with the free kick. Wild late on the scene. Scholl takes the mark. Rock just wide of the centre square. Kicks up towards half forward. A bouncing ball. Snared down there by John Blakey. The kick towards the goal. No one's home. And finally Collingwood will clear, but only just Buckley, the most popular player amongst the North Melbourne fans at the moment, kicks up towards centre wing. McDonald kicks the ball in play. Does he? Yes, no. That could even be a push in the back against Prestigiacomo. John Blakey looking at the umpire, but there's nothing coming from it, and we will see a ball up, not a ball up, but a throw in on centre wing. Scoreboard showing North Melbourne 2 goals, both to Carey, and Collingwood yet to score.
McKernan gets it down to Anthony Rock. There's a rush kick, looking for Peter Bell, very close to the boundary. In fact, it goes over on the full, and a free kick will be taken by Collingwood player Scotty Burns. Well, it's a pretty good pace so far in this first 7 minutes. North have got 2 quick ones on the board, thanks to Wayne Carey, and Collingwood are yet to score. Wayne Schwartz, who had a ripper game last week against Carlton, gets a quick rush kick to Bell again, and Burns takes him over the line. Good pace, Ross. I mean, I think Collingwood have got to realise they don't want to let their opposition side get away with a 3 or 4 or even a 5-goal lead.
That's why they're trying to match it physically early too, Russ.
McDonald over the top, punches, gains 10 metres around the line. Another throw in. 2 goals to Carey. Collingwood yet to score. Some tough, hard stuff. Be a good crowd, not a bad crowd, maybe 30, 35,000. Maybe we could have expected more if it was a bit warmer, but also if Collingwood were doing a little better. Armstrong on the burst in front of the pack, allowing Carey using his body. Great stuff. Desperation from the Collingwood defence, allowing Anderson now on the 50 to Simpson. Scholl from 45, lines up, looks pretty good. Ho-ho! Craig Scholl's first. Spent a bit of time in defence last year. Pagan has had confidence in him, taking him up forward, and he's done very well for North Melbourne.
Yes, they're pretty hot at the moment, Russ, and good hands here, just getting the ball free, and 37, Adam Simpson just doing the right thing, giving it off to Scholl, who was on the move and on his favoured right foot. He's a pretty good finisher.
Scholl kicking North Melbourne's 3rd goal. He was equal in their best and fairest back in 1991. So the Roos showing Collingwood a clean pair of heels at the moment. And of course, didn't get a tap wide enough to the advantage of his side. Grab when not in possession was Patterson. Wild gives him good support. Scholl comes after him. Still he paddles it to the boundary line. Laidley comes in on both of them, and the ball is out of bounds at Collingwood's left half forward flank. But as far as they've gone towards the goals, really. The forward thrust was chopped off by Martin via a free kick. Schwartz over the back. Wild applies a Shepherd. Now Scotty Russell kicks towards midfield. Mark taken, should have been taken by Shawbull. Williams, a good kick on the run. Long and accurate is what they want. It's long, not as accurate as he would have liked. Collingwood's first score coming up to Paul Williams, and that really deserved a goal. He's a great kick as a rule, Ross, but not that time.
Yes, he is, Pete, and he's one of those players I rely on that forward area, just give them some spark. So they've got to give him a chance to get the footy.
Kicked 23 goals this year. 23 goals, 15 now. Here's tally. Kick in by King. Fairly. Rocker was grabbed. Russell. Now a chance for Patterson. North Melbourne's defence through King. More than equal to the occasion. Over to Martin, and the Roos out of danger to midfield.
Mark dropped by Armstrong tries to get a rushed handball away. Interception from Williams, not able to do so. Monkhurst, good work. Now it's Scotty Crowe from 45. Has a ping for the big ones. Another disappointment for Collingwood. 2 behinds in the matter of minutes. One from Williams, maybe would have kicked it last year on the run from 50. And Scott Crowe. Dean Laley will kick out for North. Played 10.5 minutes in this first term. Laley goes long. McKernan the answer. But it's Matty Francis intercepting. Straight back to Ian Fairley in defence for North Melbourne. The stalwart of over 200 games for the Kangaroos, been a champion player. Very underrated, Fairley. Armstrong kicks long up to centre wing. Punch forward. Francis doing the roving. On the burst is Buckley. Come down from full-back on Carey. Richardson short. Good kick to Patterson on the chest. In front of Dean Laley, the junkyard dog. Stephen Patterson will have a chance to put Collingwood's first major on board. And will kick from 55 metres. He's got 19 goals this year, so it's a pretty reasonable conversion rate in 13 games. Eyes wandering, looking for a lead. Not too sure whether to have a shot. Pyman on the lead. Going wide to Crowe, not a real good kick. Allowing Simpson. They're calling for holding the ball. A beautiful tackle. Great tackle by Crowe. He's had a good season since transferring from Hawthorn. Very serviceable. Now he elects to kick long into the goal square. Rocker sandwiched between King and Martin. It's Mr. Reliable Fairley again. Fairley floss off to Rock, running around the boundary, looking for Blakey, ex-Fitzroy player, and one of North's best buys in recent years. Beats McDonald and himself over the line for a throw-in. 75, 80 metres around from the Collingwood goal. Played 12.5 minutes. North Melbourne 3 straight, Collingwood 2 behind.
So 16 points the difference. Monkhurst and McKernan do battle. King taken down in the tackle, and Brown looks for a free kick, but it's going the other way.
Yeah, he handled the ball in front of him, Pete, and then was tackled, so well played by King.
Not that time.
No.
Dart free, Scott and Brown. Russell. Long looping hand pass. On the end of it is Richardson. One-on-one duel. Rocker, yes! Good use of the body on Mickey Martin. It was a line ball, and he sort of stumbled or was bustled out of it by the Collingwood big man, and Rocker takes the mark directly in front of goal.
Good kick in by Richardson here. Test of strength there. Just a timely nudge by Rocker within the rules. Mickey Martin wanting front spot. You have to make sure he pushes back pretty hard when he gets in that situation.
You're pretty good at those, Ross. Use that big barrel chest yourself, mate. Very good at it.
Thank you, Fly.
North Melbourne making a change as Freeborn comes on. Rocker aiming for his 42nd goal of the year. Distance won't be a problem for him. He's got Collingwood's first today, most importantly, and the Maggies on the major part of the scoreboard. That's their first. 1 goal, 2. North Melbourne 3 straight goals, the difference back to 10 points with 11 minutes left in the term.
Yes, not just because it was their first goal, Pete, too. I thought it should have been a free kick there to Gavin Brown. They got the ball free anyway. It was a good kick coming in by Richardson. But Rocker's the sort of player that needs a couple of goals early to get his confidence up. And that'll help him enormously.
Sav Rocker's just kicked his 42nd for the season. Collingwood's first today. Trailing by 10 points is Gavin Brown. He's come under a bit of criticism, showing some real tough captain stuff through the pack. But the kick goes up, and it's that man again, Ian Fairley, taking the mark. Kick is smothered out from defence. Good defensive work from the Collingwood forwards. I think it was Williams or Patterson. Excellent work. As Glenn Freeborn is taken off and replaced by David King, who must spend a bit of time on the telephone to Dennis Pagan. Monkhurst and McKernan. It's Bell, the Sharks from the ruck. It's a rush kick close to the line. Over it goes. Centre wing. 15 minutes gone in this first term. Kangaroos by 10 points. McKernan again. Monkhurst, McKernan trying to bring it back again to Bell. Schwass, one of North's best last week against Carlton. Armstrong, a rush kick on his left boot. Rock unable to do the in front though. It's Burns. Relieving pressure only to put it straight into Robert Scott's hands. Under a bit of pressure from Scotty Russell. Scott playing on quickly. Drives it inside 50. Carey in front. Up they fly. No one can take them out. There was Lissenden. It's now Rock on his left foot. Great goal at the Kangaroos.
That's a great goal, Russell, it really is.
Real Rovers goal, wasn't it?
To read it like that in the first place, to get in that position was fantastic. And then to control the footy as it came to ground, at the pace he was going was fantastic. Just watch this again. The fly, and he's picked it up, he just missing it, and then to finish off, that's a clever kick. On the run, that's not easy. That's his 6th kick.
So Anthony Rock gets North Melbourne's 4th goal today. Rock, one of 8 players to have played all 14 matches for the Roos this year. A real Rovers goal, as we said. Now Collingwood. Francis from Monkhurst. Monkhorst, as I asked him during the week. What's the correct pronunciation? He said Monkhorst. Monkhorst.
That's how it's spelt, Pete.
That's how it's spelt, and that's how it's pronounced. Fairly. He answers to Floss as well. Richardson. Long looping hand pass. This guy's been busy, hasn't he, so far? Crow, the former Hawk. He's at left centre wing under Pyman. And towards Rocker again. That was well done. Sav Rocker, can he kick from 55? It's a mammoth roost. Oh. Terrific kick. A boomer. One behind. Deserved better. So the big Sav. 1 goal, 1 against his name today out of Collingwood's tally of 1-3. 9 plays 24. Just past the halfway stage of the quarter. King to come in after that short stint on the bench. May even get some sunshine shortly. A very cold day in Melbourne. This is Laidley in the right back pocket for North. Martin's his target and he doesn't let him down. Pyman will stand the mark. Mick goes back onto Blakey. 130 odd games with Fitzroy. Gets it up towards midfield. This is Simpson in the long sleeves. Good long kick. Lissenden gets back there from a North under-19 star. Let's see what he can do. Tries a snapshot. Coming away with the footy is Scotty Burns. But Bell, who kicked it from that position down to Carey before, will he do it again or will he have a shot from 40 metres out? Bell goes at goal and has kicked a beauty. Number 5 for North. Well, as I said, he had a hand in one and he's notched one himself. It's 5 straight to 1-3.
It's a very good kick from there, Pete. Particularly when you've got players, as listening, you just see there missing, having a bit of an area when you've got players in the square calling for it. If he'd like to have a shot from that area, he took a bounce, got himself closer. I'm not sure, he didn't even look to the square, looked straight at the goal, so just as well for him he finished. If he had missed, he may have been
on the bench.
Well, he may have received a message, I think, Pete, yeah.
Well, it's North Melbourne by 21 points. Monkhorst tries to get them going out of the centre, but it's only Dean Laidley who's sending it straight back over his head. Richardson over the top, must be playing centre half back. Or on a kick behind the play. Crow, who's been busy as Pete mentioned, kicks wide to Williams on centre wing, takes a very courageous and clever mark. Needs to move it quickly. He's got Scott Burns on his own. Bell unable to intercept. If he moves it fast, he's got Francis. I think Francis might have led a bit too early. Matty Francis in the goal square, over the back of the pack, unable to take the grab. Martin, Sharking, and Laidley, 2 against 1. That's what it's been the last 20 minutes for the Kangaroos.
Well played by Glenn Archer too. Really did commit himself to get back. Realised there was a player short up there, got himself there, back into the pack. Good stuff.
Francis and McKernan. Schwass the double fist over the top. Robert Scott getting into Scott Russell's back. How can umpire Andrew Coates decides all clear, 1 behind. Relax, Roscoe.
Well, I mean, if you're in front, you get pushed. You've just got to be a free kick. You've got to protect the player in front of the making the play.
Just seen it in the scoreboard and the crowd having a bit of the umpire. Laidley.
And that's basic stuff.
Armstrong. Still he goes from left half back. Marking contest on centre wing. Pyman after Carey missed it. Back to Richardson, whose disposal today has been good. Matty Francis again. Williams, can he complete this one? Oh, that's not a bad kick. It's well on its way. It's coming around. Terrific kick from Williams. Great goal.
That's what we like to see from Williams.
Well, he missed one earlier from directly in front, similar distance out, and he really measured that one. It was like a Greg Norman one-eye, and it just came around at the right moment, straight through the middle.
Yeah, pretty inspiring stuff. Corey McKernan and Wayne Carey just getting a little mixed up on the half-forward flank for North, just appear to spoil themselves, really. And the spilt ball finishes up with the Collingwood players, and Williams' terrific kick.
Collingwood's second goal, thanks very much to Paul Williams. A magnificent kick from 55, but it's Anthony Rock's turn out of the centre. Bell overruns it. Burns, he's been busy in defence, under pressure. Buckley, some clever stuff. Best on the ground for the Wolves last week. Beats the pack. Pyman on the burst. Could hand over the top to Monkhorst. He's got a bit of time. Elects to kick long. It's Rocker. Martin. Rocker!
Two guys combining there who were stuck out on Port Phillip Bay during the week.
Pretty harrowing times, I understand.
Well played, Nathan Buckley too, just taking a chance, an extra couple of steps off half-back, got his kick away in time, as did Monkhorst. Very good kick, in fact.
It's good to see an open forward line, allowing Rocker to run either way. Bit of space, that's what full forwards require. Big Sav will kick for his second, and Collingwood's third. Directly in front, 45 metres. Good kicking style. Collingwood crowd love it.
287 career goals now to Sav Rocker, approaching on the 300 mark. Won't get it today, but certainly aiming at it. Importantly, they're only 8 points down.
Yeah, and you're right, Russell, that space for Rocker to lead into is pretty important. Ian Fairley there, just perhaps not realising the last minute he could have marked that. He made all the effort to get to the front. Still, the defensive area was to spoil and push forward. Spilt ball finishes up with Monkhorst, we say, and in fact, he may have even got a free kick for holding on. Umpire indicating there, even though he did take the mark.
8 points the difference, 6.5 minutes left in the term. Simpson on for, I think it was Lissenden that went off. Scholl. Collingwood showing certainly much more endeavour now. High kick by Patterson down towards half forward. That gets a run on here if Francis can pick it up. Still he goes this way, that way. Now he finds some space. Rocker and Martin again. And they triple teamed in there, didn't they? Scott in front of Russell. Williams, can he make it his second? Off the side of the boot that time for Williams. Didn't get enough chances to steady. And so 1-2 to Paul Williams in this first quarter from 3 deliberate shots at goal. The goal was certainly spectacular. So 8 shots to Collingwood on the scoreboard for the end result 3-5. And they trail 23-30. So after a slow start, Collingwood getting back into this first quarter. 2 quick goals to Carey would have severely dented their confidence. Schwass will kick the ball in. He's gone in short. Laidley will give it back to him. Schwass in the right back pocket. Former Morris medalist. A very while ago now. Prestigiacomo, good mark. Boy from the Northern Knights last year. And certainly shows a bit. Francis rows the pack well, gives it to Williams. Will he get time to steady here? 45 metres out. He's missed again. 1-3 to Paul Williams. Well, they're peppering the goals now after they couldn't get near them in the first 5 or 6 minutes. It's 3-6 to 5 goals. The difference back to 1 goal.
Yeah, North just have to be aware of Williams there. He's pretty dangerous in that 30 to 50 metre area outside goal.
Who's he on, Ross? We know.
Well, King's been looking after him for a bit.
Craig Scholl unable to take the mark with the big fly. The Collingwood boys are throwing themselves in. I think Tony Shortett will be pretty pleased with their endeavour and their attitude as Stephen Patterson takes another mark for a deliberate shot. 45 metres, he's got Francis alone in the square. But doesn't want to rush this one. Have a deliberate shot at goal. 3-6 Collingwood, 9 deliberate shots to North Melbourne, 5 straight. Collingwood still trailing by 6 points. Patterson yet to kick a goal today. 19 this year in his 13 games. Kick looks good. He's happy. And so are the Pies. Back in town, scores a level. Just under 5 minutes left in this first term.
And he did the right thing too, Russell, in not quickly trying to get the ball onto Francis. That's Matthew Francis, who's in the square on his own, because he just wasn't back far enough. The kick would have to have been a pretty quick one over the man on the mark. May have got himself in a stride, so it was a good finish.
Patterson gets his first, scores a level with 5 minutes to go in the first quarter here at the MCG. Rock out of the congestion at midfield. Good block by Brown. Now Anderson over the top. Francis and pass to a man who was standing still, and he was subsequently pinned very quickly.
Not sure what Stuart Anderson was thinking there. The handball back inside to the middle there. He really should just kept going around on his left and gone forward. Kicked the ball.
Pretty congested area around the bounce. Roberts does it well for North. The kick away came from Scott down towards full forward. Carey using weight. McKernan's got the footy. A snap. One behind. Kicked by Corey McKernan, so that gives North Melbourne the lead by that margin. Their first behind of the day. 5 goals 1 to Collingwood, 4 goals 6. And we've got 4 minutes left in this term. Crowd has built up. They tend to come late here now to the MCG because on many occasions they don't play curtain raiser matches. And it's a lot of use during the year to try to preserve it. Brown from Buckley's kick in. When he can kick as long as Buckley, you wonder why he's gone short. Gavin Brown. Kick to half-back. Prasiska the target in front of Marks. Lays it off. Pyman. He selected his first rover today. Pyman's kick to Wild. A little give to Francis. This is better. McDonald down towards the big Sav. Can he get back quickly? Go off the ground? Yes, no. Oh, he did twice. It's out of bounds.
He nearly did a groin, Pete.
So close for Sav Rocker. He heard Martin rumbling down behind him, and he has to settle still for 2 goals in the quarter. So a throw in. Collingwood's right forward pocket. The Magpies certainly lifting after Carey got 2 quick goals. Can they get one here through Russell? He bends it around, but it may be a behind to level the scores again. It is. So that's his first score of the day, 1 behind, and again, scores level at the MCG as we approach quarter time.
Some good combination, good teamwork running through the midfield for Collingwood, and only resulting in 1 point as Armstrong over the top to Roberts, puts him under pressure, tries to go underground. Monkhurst applying some great pressure in that forward line. Armstrong follows up. It's Anthony Rock on centre wing for the Kangaroos. Drives it long. Looking for McKernan. Good work from Richardson. Behind the pack off to Williams. Williams has kicked 1 goal 3 this first term. On half back. Kicking wide. Looking for Wild. Finds him. Outstretched arms. Plays on quickly. The long sleeves is caught. Taken to the ground. Great work.
Great tackle by Archer Russ here. Fantastic chase. He knew he was behind him. Wasn't up with him early, but slipped himself, picked him up, and a great tackle.
Isn't Archer becoming one of the most valuable players in the league? Is it fantastic tackling, marking, goal kicking, game saver?
Oh!
Thank you very much, Mark Richardson.
Great grab.
Plays on quickly to Brown. Gavin Brown throwing himself in today. Kicks long. Monkhurst being sandwiched. Roberts into him. I think he's hurt his arm, might have broken his wrist or something. Doesn't look good. It's a free kick off to King. From centre half back over the centre square. Carey from behind, can't grab it. Anderson puts pressure on Burns. Buckley the same. Prasiska to relieve it. On his left, kick smothered from Blakey. It's hard and fast. Schwass now under pressure. They have to go back to Roberts. Kicks it quickly. High ball.
Schwass has got a free kick against Francis for a high tackle.
He was very untidy. So because it didn't go the advantage of North, it's coming back.
Enough centre of the ground. Just over 2 minutes left in this first term. It can't get any tighter. The scores are level, 31 apiece. Only due to Collingwood inaccuracy, 4-7 to 5-1.
And Roberts seems to be okay.
He's okay, Pete. Good. The Schwass drives it out of the centre of the ground inside 50. McKernan overruns the ball. Ground level now. Anderson caught. Crow at pressure. Burns does well against his namesake Freeborn, or number sake at least, Freeborn. and beats the lot over the line.
Under 2 minutes left in this quarter. Scores dead level. Richardson, who's been good, with McCurtain. Wild. Pyman, oh, he should have marked that. Could be a costly mistake. Rock may make him pay. Still he goes. Rock looking for the free kick. Arms out again and again. Didn't get it. Well umpired. Kick away by Buckley. Buckley up towards centre wing. No mark taken down there for Collingwood by Patterson. North Melbourne pressure the ball forward again. Marking contest out from goal. Krasiska tackled late by Carey. The ball lobs towards the outer side, and Brown, it's a foot race out there.
Oh, well
kept in. The Collingwood skipper leading by example, but not by his kicking. And it will be a free kick to be taken, I guess, by Robert Scott out there, who's the nearest one to it, on right centre wing. Scott, the former Cat. Danilchenko, mark or free kick. And a whack right in the back of the scone. Danilchenko, target is McCurtain. Buckley flies, no mark taken. Again, Collingwood through Francis, should be able to run it out. Crow's been busy at half-back in this quarter. Hand passes it off once more. McDonald, back to Crow, the two former Hawks. They're messing around. They want to get a kick away here. They do. It's Burns. Burns up towards centre wing. That was good vision. He's found Wild. He won't get caught this time. Wild. Martin leads out, and chopping it off in front of him was his teammate in Archer.
She's a gutsy effort.
That's fearless stuff, Glenn Archer. Roberts clashed heavily before to Martin, puts him under pressure. Collingwood pressure is very good. Richardson out of the back line, they're doing it well. Francis now to Pyman, round the corner. Wild can't pick it up. Simpson can, but Dean holding the ball. Pretty tough stuff. Oh. Richardson won't argue. He'll take the free kick on centre wing. They need to move it quickly. Matter of seconds left in this first term. The pack forms. Matty Francis holding. There's a free kick. The clock still continues to tick down. He needs to move it quickly. Shawball.
Too late.
Time will beat him. And that ends a very eventful first term.
It was an eventful first quarter. It looked as though North Melbourne were going to give them a nice old pasting early on when Carey got those two quick goals. They were a little bit unsettled, Collingwood, but they then attacked with, I think, some well-placed vigour. They got themselves back into the match and probably could have even been in front at quarter time had Paul Williams been accurate. He kicked 1-3. He was very busy around the 50-metre line, and at the first change it's North Melbourne 5-1-31. Carey has two of those goals. Collingwood 4-7-31 at the MCG. Scores level at the MCG as we start the second quarter. Collingwood got themselves back into the match late in the first term. McCurtain, big thump away. Anderson, he gets the rebound himself, kicks up towards Carey, who this time misses the mark. Buckley now has the job minding him. Carey got two quick goals. North Melbourne got away to a flyer, but the Woods managed to peg them back. Scotty Russell takes the ball out of bounds at the Magpies' left half-back flank. During the quarter-time break too, we saw Collingwood captain Gavin Brown going over to speak to the umpires, which he did at length. Ideas to suggest about a few decisions in the first quarter that didn't go their way. Rock, who had 10 kicks in the opening term, gets bundled out by Scotty Crow, who had 7. And that's out of bounds again as North work it around towards their right forward pocket. Yes, he was very busy, the former Hawk. Scotty Crow played only 13 games with Hawthorn, but has played all 14 so far this season in his new club. So boundary throw in. McCurtain and Richardson. Buckley tries to go off the ground. Francis a chance to pick up. Richardson looks for a free kick, holding the ball. There's none there according to the umpire. And Tony Francis is the last to extract himself from that big pack of players. So a ball up. Again in the early part of the term. North Melbourne doing the attacking. McCurtain and Richardson. Line ball decision, that one. Carey, beautiful hand pass to Danilchenko, who hits the post. You wouldn't believe it.
Well, he tried a banana there, Peter. I thought he probably could have still got it through just with a normal drop punt, but perhaps the run he had at the goal just forced him to kick that banana, just kept going around at the bottom of the post.
I think he was forced into that
he probably
behind
was,
area,
yeah.
so he had to try and react anyway. Nathan Buckley, who's currently playing on Wayne Carey, kicks out long, and it's a beautiful 60-metre drop punt to Shawball in the square, offloads to Francis on the burst. He finds McDonald, But umpire Gavin Dorr has decided that Shawble wasn't over his mark, and he has to go back and take his kick again. He now has Burns wide on centre wing, on the other side of the ground. Finds him. Plays quickly. Krasiska on the run, takes a good mark in front of Stuart Anderson. Krasiska down from half-back. It'll be a good season for the Pies. Kicks wide. Christian Giacomo, not quick enough to bend over and pick the ball up. Scott Crowe did the shepherding. And the ball is forced over the line by David King.
It's a good kick too by King under that sort of pressure, running so quickly toward the boundary line to get the ball back and run it over.
60 metres around from Collingwood goal. Left half forward, Monkhorst beating fairly with strength. Patterson under the pack, trying to burrow his way through. And umpire Gavin Dorr will decide to have another bounce.
Like a tag team wrestle down there.
Collingwood on the bottom of the packs. Good sign. 15 or 20 players around this ball. Monkhorst and Fairley again. Monkhorst with a good punch. Anderson. Another pack forms. Pyman calling for holding the ball. But it's a big ask. It'll be another bounce, gaining 5 metres towards the Collingwood goal. North Melbourne by 1 behind. Scores level at quarter time. Then Jason Danilchenko hitting the post for North behind this quarter. Monkhorst again. Patterson's a chance if he can pick it up. Mickey Martin won't let him. Tough stuff from Mickey. Now it's Francis to Patterson again. But to no avail.
Patterson's curse, that was.
Oh no, not another one. Out of bounds. 10 metres from goal. Collingwood left pocket. Monkhorst directing the traffic. Calling for an inboard tap. Front position. Good stuff, Monkey. Gets a kick. Great stuff, Pyman! Monkhorst's goal. Pyman will take it on the stat sheet, but the big monkey in ruck. Solid stuff, Ross.
Yes, and just a trying bit of deception there to indicate he was going to have it to the right. And then just able to get fairly out of the way. And he did it fairly well. Good kick. Clever.
So Collingwood hit the lead. Pyman's goal. North Melbourne actually got to a 21-point lead at the 18-minute mark of the first quarter, and now it's Collingwood by 5 points. An amazing turnaround here at the MCG. Can North Melbourne answer? They've certainly got the players and the talent on their side to do it. Wild missed it. Opportunity now for Scott. Kicks across his body. Up towards Carey, and in front. No mark. I thought it might have been paid down there to Andrew Shawble. It's going to be a free kick to Collingwood anyway. Gavin Brown. Krasiska. Still he goes, Francis. Towards centre wing, no mark taken. Francis again, that's Matty Francis. The ball out of bounds, and it will be a throw in. Scholl stretching himself from the dirt or mud.
Out of bounds. On the full. It fell off someone's leg.
It was on the full too, He's given that.
Players weren't aware of it.
Neither was I. Francis has got the free kick, says thanks very much. Now he gets a call to play on, runs around the mark, kicks up towards the centre square area. Monkhorst got one a little bit too high, and the big monkey's going to get the free kick. Back into the side today after a hamstring injury. Great to see him out there. He certainly makes a difference to the Collingwood strength around midfield. Russell tackled by King. Still he goes. Russell. Scott comes at him. Shawble, if he can pick it up, has a pick at the goals, but he's missed it and kicked only one behind. His first score of the day. Where's he playing, Ross? Has he moved to the forward line, or has he followed his man down there?
You're talking about to Shawble?
Shawble, yeah.
No, he's come down, yes, but
he started in defence on Carey. Buckley then got that job, and they had a bit of a niggle. Brown, they're still at it. Danilchenko tries to fist it further forward. Scotty Crowe gets back quickly. 7 kicks in the first quarter. He's nearly caught by Danilchenko. Has to go to the boundary line, which he does. And the umpire says throw it in North Melbourne's right forward pocket.
That's well done by Crowe. He had to chase the ball there and hope that it didn't bounce over his head as he ran toward it. Controlled it pretty well. 11
possessions for Scott Crowe so far. We're only 7 minutes into this second term, so they've been very busy with the ball. McKernan and Richardson. Over the top is Carey. off the ground. Ball's bouncing close to the line. The Duck has done it again. Miracle stuff by Wayne Carey. 2 quick goals in the first term from 2 marks. And in the pack, gets his foot to the ball and guides it through the middle.
Yeah, it's just took the punt there to push it forward. Got a pretty favourable bounce.
Oh.
Still, he kicked it towards the middle of the goal, so if it was bouncing either way, he had himself fair room for error there.
Wayne Carey gets his 3rd. Scores level again at the MCG as they were at quarter time. McKernan's tap and kick. The kick is a long one. Brown tries to punch from the back. Carey again. Can he make it number 4? He looks for the hand pass. Danichenko stood there still. Armstrong paddles it out wide for a teammate. Scholl, after Freeborn was taken down. Buckley, a little flip over the top to Wild. Oh, that was too high on. That's against Anderson and might be a booking.
Yeah. Oh, hang on, Buck.
It's Anderson on Pyman, and that was very crude. That was very crude. The crowd have seen it on the scoreboard, and they don't like it. And you can understand the players remonstrating this.
Just watch the umpire, Pete. We'll see what happens. Right.
I didn't see a booking, but it was, of course, tried by video. This is the rookie, Jason Bevan, who's just come onto the ground with his first kick. He's kicked it up towards half forward. Wild tries to go off the ground, it does. Matthew Francis does likewise. Kicks it to the left forward pocket, and the ball bounces over the line just inside 50 for a throw-in, and that will be about 45 metres from goal.
Yes, Bevan's on for Preston Ukoma, who's off the ground, and I dare say that's so important.
Well, he didn't write a number down in a book or anything.
But he didn't with didn't he? Monkhorst either, did he?
It's better memories these days, the umpires. Matthew Francis again charges straight into Freeborn. That'll be holding the ball, will it? No. Not according to the umpire. And Francis breathed a sigh of relief. So a ball up, 45 metres out from goal.
Got some good tough football. This game at the MCG between Collingwood and North. Monkhorst instrumental in a goal to Pyman before to Francis now. Pyman again, if he can get his foot to it. Misses. Scholl under pressure. Ball dragged in by Patterson, taken high. Umpire coach says, no way. Let me bounce it. Collingwood supporters screaming for the free kick. 40 metres out, directly in front of the Collingwood goal. Monkhorst and Fairley, too strong, the monkey. Patterson on the bottom of the pack again. Very busy, Patterson. Kicked a good goal in the first term. And he's had 4 kicks, 2 marks, 1 handball. And 1 effective tackle. Plenty of players around the ball. Monkhorst again. Rocker over the top. Williams, if he's quick enough. Good tackle by King. Just put enough pressure on him to force the error. Anticipation high. Williams kicked a great goal in that first term from 55 on the run in front of the MCG members. The beautiful stuff. Fairley in front of the pack. Russell tackling him. Matty Francis can't pick it up. Not much happening.
Another throw in.
Archer. One of North's best this year. And one of the toughest players in the AFL, as we see. Rossi Smith running around the boundaries. Spent a lot of time in the reserves this year. The house husband from North.
Free kick to Francis. He was held but not in position.
And he'll take that free kick. 40 metres out from goal. And only on a slight angle. Tony Francis.
As Anderson's been taken from the ground, and coming on is Eric Lissenden.
Francis scoreless so far today. And not anymore.
Collingwood in front by a goal. After scores were level at quarter time. The 13th ranked side in the league at the moment on the ladder. And they're playing the league leaders, and they lead by 6 points.
Yes, just watch this again replay, and as that was going on, Stephen Pitts come onto the ground. And Matthew Francis off, and there was the free kick just behind play there.
Free kick 7-6 in favour of North Melbourne. The Magpies by a go at the MCG. As we approach the halfway stage of the second quarter, big leap by McKernan, straight down to Francis, and that's a booming kick by the little rover. Fairley couldn't complete the mark. Blakey brushes one tackle, doesn't get a clear kick at it. Bell and Bevan. Bell looking to see the ball out of bounds, which he does in front of the Collingwood rookie, but it's going to be a free kick.
Came off Bell's foot.
Out of bounds on the full. So Bevan with his second kick in the AFL, not a good one. He won't want to write home about that. Rock. Is that going to be 50? Rock looking for it. Had 10 kicks in the first quarter. Carey from the side. Couldn't complete the mark. Burns was there. So too is Scholl. Wild applies a tackle. Ball shuffled out the back. Danilchenko comes in solidly. It's not going any further, and it's going to be a ball up. 55 metres out from the North Melbourne goal.
Wayne Carey, Pete's got a pretty bad cork on the right thigh there when he jumped into that pack. Prior to that little mix-up there.
Yes, he's a bit proppy. Still being minded by Buckley. The umpire puts it down, about 55 out. Richardson, who had a very good first quarter. Schwass, a little give, hit Russell instead. Still he goes, Schwass. Not a great hand pass. Patterson, or was it Burns? The two lookalikes down there. It's going to be a ball up. So Collingwood taking it right up to North at the moment. Magpies leading 6-2 to 6-8. A 6-point break. McKernan to half forward, trying to find Scholl. Danilchenko, little flip up to Scott. Now it's Bell. Bell inside 50, down to Lissenden. Schauble punches, got the leg from behind. Brown applies a shepherd. Schauble, still he goes. Out the back, Bevan a chance. He dives upon it, and the umpire will come in and bounce it as the sun comes out here at the MCG, and things looking pretty sunny for the Maggies at the moment.
A lot of good feeling, Pete. All the Collingwood players running into Pat Bevan on the head and basically saying, well done, mate, for diving under that pack.
And that's not what Tony Francis said to Carey did.
I don't suppose it was. Richardson getting a lot of this ruck hit-outs, gaining 20 metres, but a stump back over his head for a throw-in by Wayne Schwass. Schwatter. Spent 10 weeks out with that broken arm. Krasiska over the top of the pack, close to the line. Crow, clever stuff. The boundary umpire says, give it to me. "15 minutes we've played in the second term. Collingwood by one straight kick, a goal. As there's an infringement against Richardson for holding, pushing, and whatever he might have done in that throw-in, and a free kick to McKernan. Kicks inside 50, looking for Carey. Beautifully taken off the pack by Wild. Plays on quickly. Scotty Russell from centre wing, beautifully shepherded by a Collingwood teammate. It was Pitters on the ground. McDonald. Williams onto Russell. 60 metres out from goal, kicks to an empty goal square, but can't beat the man of the moment, Glenn Archer. Running back with the flight of the ball. Off to Fairley now, into the pocket. Fairley kicking long, centre wing. The sun's out at the G. Danilchenko can't take the mark. Stacks on the mill. On the Coca-Cola sign.
And right at the halfway mark of the quarter, we're going to have a bounce. 10 minutes remaining in the half. Tony Shaw goes to the phone. He'll be pleased with their efforts and endeavours today. Anderson tackled, but he was tackled high. He'll get the free kick. Relays it to Laidley. A little chip shot. Doesn't cover too much distance. And Danilchenko looking for the free kick. But Krasiska, some pretty good work there in close. And the umpire says throw it in. He's speaking to Gavin Krasiska. Blown if I know what that was about. Looked pretty legit. It's a throw in right next to the interchange gates. Collingwood 6-8, North Melbourne 6-2. McKernan to Scholl to Laidley. Laidley off one step, kicks towards half forward. Wild farms it down. Buckley, a little give to Francis. Still Buckley. Kick long. Courageous effort to mark by Simpson. Drags Richardson when he didn't have the footy. And playing a pretty good game today, Richardson. and he's going to take the free kick. 6 and 4. His stats so far. McDonald kicks to the sun. Shawball moving down. Good tackle by Archer onto Schwass. Schwass at left half back. Pitt gives chase. He kicks up towards centre wing. Carey on his own. Still he goes. Carey. Oh, fine vision and fine shoal. And you would have to say within kicking distance.
Yeah, well read by Wayne Schwass too. Ran from the centre to go and assist down there, and the ball came toward him in the end and rewarded for his run and set up that play going forward.
Craig Scholl has kicked 1 goal for his second. If he kicks accurately and it's a goal, scores will be level. He's missed. So 1 goal, 1 to Craig Scholl makes the difference now 5 points in favour of Collingwood in the second half of the second term.
Ross Scholl had McKernan on his own in the goal square then. I think 20
couldn't get around
clear.
quick enough though, could he?
It was good play by that Collingwood defender to
Just
stop
to hold
Scholl
him,
from
yep.
playing on. Yeah. Krasiska. Short and low, finding Shawball. Possession game from the kick out, putting Buckley under pressure. Does well to Burns. Back to Krasiska from full back. North haven't touched it. We're up on centre wing. Now they have. Scott, interception from Williams. Caught Palmer, was a throw. Williams on 50 on his left foot, runs his full measure. Great mark, Stephen Pitt. Been on the ground a couple of minutes. And showing his faith in Shaw's confidence. Taking a good strong mark in front of the pack.
Chased by King, but just not enough to prevent Williams getting that kick through. And as Russell said, that's a terrific mark.
Final selection of the 95 national draft. Stephen Pitt.
None of the Norwood players in the Collingwood side.
Well, his first kick for the game should be a goal for the Maggies. And it is. Great way to start the game for Stephen Pitt. 1 goal on the board and putting them 11 points in front of the North Melbourne side.
Yes, the advantage was paid to Paul Williams, as we see the free kick against
There's a throw
was it
here.
Anderson here. No, it was Robert Scott. So the advantage paid to Williams, who was free. Good chase by King. As I mentioned, then this is a great mark. Good pressure mark.
So Pitt scores the goal, his first, and Collingwood's biggest lead of the day. North Melbourne, you may recall, led by 21 points in the first quarter. It's the Magpies now by 11. McKernan, who's done well at the bounces, but the accuracy wasn't there. Richardson kicks it back to half forward. Kick away by Patterson. In towards Rocker and Martin. Williams again. A snap from 40. And a behinder out of bounds on the forwards. The latter. And so it's not a throw-in. It's going to be a free kick to North Melbourne, of course, in the back pocket. It'll be King or Fairley. Fairley's going to take it. The oldest man on the North Melbourne list, the boy from Williamstown. And the goal kicking once at the club. McKernan doesn't miss those. His name written on that. Anderson or Laidley. Laidley takes it over to King. The feature of his game today has been his tackling and chasing. Buckley reads it well. Got a half volley though. Will he go off the ground? No, he tries to pick it up. One good shepherd, but wasn't really as good as he would have liked. Rock, who's been one of North Melbourne's best players, marking contest. Simpson got it. Oh, Bell steamrolled. And Shawball's down 2. Crow nearly dragged down. Finally gets it away. Still in the centre square. Socked away by Russell. Only as far as Rock. And like a little terrier, kicks to half forward.
He's gone, Pete. Shawball is stretching.
Shawball.
Yeah, just Peter Bell, and he just straight at the footy. And unfortunately, Shawball came off second best there.
I don't think Bell came off too well, but he came off better.
He ran off.
Yeah.
That was a great hit.
They both had eyes for the footy, and it was neither player saw the other coming. Heavy clash. And I think Bell, being the shorter player, may have just perhaps got Shawball under the chin, or maybe a shoulder rush here.
Let's see what happened. We'll take a look at it in replay.
So Shawball from the right, Bell straight in.
Oh.
Yeah.
The shorter player, the shoulder it was, I think, in the solar plexus.
game has stopped while the stretcher is on the ground, and from a Collingwood point of view, let's hope it doesn't stop their momentum. There's Bell, he seems to be okay. Magpies have kicked 6 of the last 7 goals in the game, so they really have been able to turn it around well after Carey got those very 2 quick ones in the first quarter.
Yeah, one of those ones you can't do anything about.
Let's see who's going to come back on. Probably
Christie Como, I think.
I would imagine he'd be okay. I don't expect there'd be any breakages there.
Well, they're taking him straight off, Pete, not through the interchange, straight to the rooms. So there must be some concern, obviously.
Carey's going to have to wait a while. Well, we saw him hobbling around a little bit earlier with what could have been a corky, but he seems to be moving all right.
I think Buckley's done reasonably well on him, Ross. What do you think?
Well, he's been prepared to attack the footy, and run off.
Carey has called the duck. He does run in an unusual way, so maybe he is okay. He's certainly in better shape than Collingwood player being stretched off at the moment in Andrew Shawball. Just about the players' race there underneath the Great Southern Stand.
Carey getting some advice from the Collingwood people there.
Yes.
Also, the head trainer, Johnny Wassell, he's got a nice little smart mouth. He's having a word at him too.
So Carey, short of right half forward flank for North Melbourne. Kicks out in front of goal. Pyman, well tackled by Danilchenko. Rebounds off Bevan, who goes into a player tackle. It's going to be a ball up 40 metres out from goal. Scoreboard showing Collingwood 7-8-50, North Melbourne 6-3-39. And we'll put it down on one of the newer stretches of turf here on the MCG. McCurden's done well in the ruck the second quarter. Good tackle again by Archer on Pyman, and it's going to be another ball up.
Well, there was 3 minutes lost as Andrew Shawball was carried from the field. Played 24 minutes, got another 5 to go in this second term. McKernan using his skills and body as Rock is crunched into the ground by Pyman, and that is deemed a push in the back as umpire Steve McBurney is explaining to Pyman. Anthony Rock will kick from 50 metres directly in front for North.
Well, here it is again. You just can't sit on a play like that.
Archer helped him though, didn't he? But that's the way it works. Anthony Rock kicked a great goal first term. Left footer, sharking it off the pack like a true rover. Kicking for his second. And North Melbourne 7th. Looks good off the boot, but inaccurate. 1 behind. 1-1 to Rock and 6-4 to North Melbourne, taking them to 10 points behind the Collingwood team. 4.5 minutes left in the second term. Nathan Buckley playing fullback on Wayne Carey, finding Gavin Krosiska in the pocket. Buckley follows on. Krosiska ignores him, decides I want to kick this nice and long, get it out of the dangerous territory. Richardson in front, good punch by Carey, back to Schwass, gives away 10 metres, pretty standard North Melbourne stuff. Setting the play up. Anthony Rock again in the centre of the ground. Wants to move it quickly, goes short. Carey's moved in, found good space. The Duck decides to kick long. He's got an option, it's Archer in the pocket. Unable to take the mark, the big leap. Bell, he puts Shawball on that stretcher. Back to Roberts, who's been quiet, centering the ball now. Buckley unable to take the mark. Backing into it, Scholl. Round on his left, great stuff by Buckley. Beautiful smother, pressure by Collingwood. Holding the ball. Bevan caught with the ball now, first gamer. Christian Giacomo driving it wide up towards centre wing. Scotty Russell now, twisting and turning on his left boot. Keeping control of the pill. The utility for Collingwood, driving up into the centre of the ground. And Ian Fairley will take the mark.
So North are going to rebound it once more. Lately, time to measure the kick and measure his options. He's looking for Carey. Buckley was the flyer, didn't bring it down. This is Bevan, first game up. Laidley underneath it, so too is Patterson. Williams tries to get it to him, gets it back himself. And North Melbourne will run it away. Scott, the former Geelong player. Scott kicks to half forward. Big pack of players there. McKernan on the burst. 45 metres out, goes at goal and kicks a beauty. North come back close to half-time. Corey McKernan kicks the goal and the Roos get within a kick. 7-8 to 7-4.
It's an important bit of play there by McKernan, and well played fairly again on the half-back line, and also Ross Smith in this passage of play. Didn't see much game time so far, but McKernan smart enough to realise he could play on. And in a low-scoring game, it's a very important kick.
That's a team lifter, that one. Great team lifter.
McKernan's had a great second quarter, capped off by that goal. 7-8 to 7-4. Collingwood now just by 4 points, but North Melbourne did at one stage lead by 21. Francis out of the middle and the congestion, only gets it as far as Laidley. He looks for and finds Ross Smith, and turn onto Roberts.
Roberts on his left boot, finding the goal kicker, the man of that last minute, Corey McKernan. Eric Lissenden leads, he ignores that. Up to the goal square, Archer! Unable to take it. Looks at the umpire and says, how about it? Jason Bevan, first gamer, under the pack. Tony Shaw would love to see. Tough stuff. Lost 3 or 4 minutes with Shawball being carried off on a stretcher. Might have done North a lot of favours. Close to the line. Denolchenko unable to get the boot to it. Krasiska paddling it through for a rush behind for North. Three points the difference. Collingwood currently sitting 13th on the ladder. The last time they met, North beat them by 52 points quite convincingly. North sitting on top, but currently West Coast with a game in hand, beating them. Buckley plays on quickly from goal. Archer chips in front of Christy Giacomo to take a great mark. Kicks long and quickly up towards the goal square. Buckley over the top with Krasiska trying to mark. Kicks quickly out of defence. Poor bounce for Wild. Schwass caught with the ball. Desperate handball. Rock now. Back to Scholl. North setting it up. Scott. Carey inside 50. They do that well. They set it up. They chip it around.
It's an important kick coming back in too, because he could have gone long to the square. He just blazed away, but he spotted Carey short, only about 20 metres away, and found him.
A goal would put North in front.
Good intercept by Archer too from the kick-off.
Carey will kick from 55 directly in front. Should make the distance and should kick the goal. Doesn't. Kick is wide, over the line for one behind.
Right in his copybook, Wayne Carey, 3 goals now, still 3 goals, and the difference is back to 2 points. Less than a minute remaining in the half. Nathan Buckley will kick in. He's had a good contest on North Melbourne Dynamo. He's got in short. Krasiska is in the left back pocket. Gavin Krasiska goes for distance with his kick. 2-on-2 contest. Prestigiacomo was his target. Brown ridden into the ground, but he's got the footy still. The umpire will ball it up. Right next to the interchange gates. Dennis Pagan makes another change. Freeborn comes on. Denolchenko comes off. So a ball up as the clock ticks down to half-time. McKernan, as I said, has had a very good quarter. Bell, Roberts, across his body. Francis, courage needed there, and he takes the mark in front of Archer. Oops, this could be costly close to half-time. Freeborn will get a free kick.
Yes.
Well, what do you say there? Bad luck for Collingwood, good luck for North Melbourne if he kicks it. If he does, North Melbourne will go in at the main change, leading by 4 points.
The kick from Francis going back inboard, just not spot on enough. Put Krasiska under pressure.
Getting some advice there from Anthony Rock. He's had 15 kicks himself. And Freeborn has just come back onto the ground. It's pretty good. It's close. Hit the post, did it? Let's see what the goal umpire says. The post is wobbling one behind. Kicked by Glenn Freeborn. And so Collingwood will lead at half-time. Scores were level, you may recall, at the first change. And so we have a 1-point break to the Magpies at half-time. Collingwood leading 7-8-50, North Melbourne 7-7-49. Second half of the MCG, 1 point the difference in favour of Collingwood. The Magpies and the Roos were dead level at quarter-time. A pretty interesting exit from the ground by both teams just prior to the main break. McDonald. Roberts. It's kicked across his body. Tries to hoof it out of mid-air. McKernan's there, gets a favourable bounce at midfield, looks for the hand pass to Blakey. McDonald was grabbed when not in possession. Collingwood supporters looking for a free kick, but not according to the umpire. A bounce just wide of the centre circle. Monkhorst back into the side today. He certainly made a difference, but Corey McKernan had a very good second quarter. The two go at it again. Monkhorst gets the better of the bounce. Russell tackled by Scott. Wild in front, couldn't complete the mark. Rocker's in there. Anderson flips it out to Bell and turn to Scott. Now Richardson onto Pitt to Pyman. They're sharing it around. Crow gets it back. Now is that a mark? It might even be a free kick. Sav Rocker has the footy. That's the important thing.
Yeah, he's played the mark, I think, Pete, to umpire Gavin Dorr. Double team then too. Rocker, Flossie Fairley coming back into him from the front, and Mickey Mark trying to spoil behind.
As I said, you'll probably see there was an infringement here for on the shoulder, but against Fairley, the mark has been paid.
Good second grab.
So Sav Rocker, a chance to increase Collingwood's lead of 1 point. He's got 2-1 against his name today, and for his 288th career goal. Directly in front, 40 metres out. Needs to be a good kick. It is a good kick. Collingwood lead by 7 points.
Good opener by the Pies too, just making sure they get the first one on the board after the break. As Pete mentioned, there was a bit of a kerfuffle as they went off the ground at half-time, so there's still a bit of feeling in the game. And you'll see Fairley going back. Martin behind, but Rocker, good second grab.
Sav Rocker, 3 goals for the game. Pies by 7 points. Monkhorst and McKernan. I understand Monkhorst had his number taken in the first term for, I think, unduly rough play on David King. And he had plenty to say at half-time as they were coming off the ground.
Unusual for him.
The big monkey. His kids call him Munkenstein. We read in the footy record a couple of weeks ago. We'll have another bounce. Umpire Steve McBurney, number 29 in white, puts it down. Good bounce. McKernan wins with the big left hand, but it's wild. A wild kick to King. Great smother by Prestigiacomo, and recovers well for the youngster. Paul Williams trying to dodge and weave. The big monkey's caught. Pressure from North Melbourne. Williams again from 45. Directly in front of goal. Looks great. The Collingwood Army are screaming. They're loving it.
Well, that was almost a carbon copy, Ross, wasn't it, of his goal in the first quarter?
Yeah, it was, Pete, and that's some great pressure footy by both sides in the middle there. Some great smothers and tackling. And in the end, David King tackles Williams, who's his opponent, and Williams gets up very quickly. Oh, gee, he's dangerous, and as I mentioned before, in that 30 to 50 metre area in front of goal.
So Paul Williams gets his second. He's kicked 2 goals, 3 this afternoon. Rocker's kicked 3-1. Williams and Rocker, the Magpies' best forwards, 5 between them. Out of the centre, Rock for the Roos to half forward. That's a mark to Archer. Maybe too far out to score. He's well outside 50, but it's a pretty good hoof into the goal square. And that is a mark to Francis. Yes, he's got it. Gives it to Buckley. Great effort by Matty Francis and Richardson. Well, the Collingwood players lifting right around the ground. Richardson started off in fine fettle in the opening quarter. Prestigiacomo. I noticed Shawball back on the bench too. That's good news for Collingwood. He was carried off in the second quarter. Buckley to Brown, nearly. Oh, a nest of North Melbourne players. Archer was just one of them. Buckley again. That's better. He's found Scotty Burns. Burns to half forward. Rocker and Martin. No one roving there. Fairly. Oh, he's made a meal of that. And the boy from Williamstown has to go for the boundary line, and it just gets there. Well, Collingwood, the pressure they're applying to North Melbourne right around the ground now is beginning to take its toll. And Collingwood players lifting in confidence the further the match gets. It's a throw-in. Collingwood's right forward pocket. Monkhorst can't find Williams. Scott, a little give. Laidley, Bell, might have been touched off the boot. Wasn't a long kick at any rate. And it's out of bounds on half-back. McDonald taking it out with Blakey. We'll see a throw-in right on 50.
Listonen's been taken off and Simpson is on, and the change then be made by Tony Shaw. Matt Francis virtually follows Liston off, and the smaller player in Bevan comes on to take up Simpson.
Nearly 6 minutes gone in this third term, and the urgency is lifted from the Collingwood side. 2 quick goals in this third term. The confidence is up as Roberts drives it into the centre of the ground. Good punch from behind from Freeborn. Disciplined stuff. Chris Siska now on the rebound for Collingwood. Scotty Crow under pressure. Has to bounce around Simpson. Just came on the ground. Drives it long. Stephen Pitt. Hands in front of the eyes. One grab. The boy from Norwood drives it in long. It's Rocker again. Showing his authority. Pushing Laidley away. My ball, he says. Bit of strength from behind Martin.
Yeah, good call by Rocker too. Just indicated to Pitt to go long, and then Martin did as much as he could holding front posse, but again, Rocker just too strong from behind.
Well, Collingwood have kicked 2 quick ones in the first 6 minutes of this third term. One of those to Rocker, another one to Williams on the run, a sensational team lifter. Rocker will kick from 15 metres directly in front. A huge runner. Looking for Collingwood's 10th.
That's his 4th.
The crowd says it all.
Well, the Magpies, as I said, lifting all around the ground, Ross, and that's the biggest lead they've had today.
Yeah, they are, Pete. They're very keen, obviously, wanting to take that 1-point lead at half-time into the break and pumped up. And 3 goals without reply in this third quarter is a great start.
Tony Shaw couldn't have asked for more. North Melbourne at one stage led by 21 points. And now Collingwood, as Dennis Pagan looks a little worried. It's 10-8 to 7-7. 15 minutes left in the third quarter. 3 unanswered goals in this third term to the Maggies. McKernan with a big leap down to Roberts, and the Roos will get it out of the centre towards half forward. Archer's there. Pine, a good bump, confronts him. He goes down. Prestigiacomo tackled by Scott. Oh, too high. Umpire swallowed the whistle. Rock tackled by Williams. Some tunnel ball. Burns, off one step, kicks towards Wild, snares it nicely, could have bounced awkwardly onto Williams. King won't catch him this time. The kick won't quite make the distance. The big serve! Now is that a goal? Pitt has got it. Stephen Pitt, from an inch and a half out, has kicked the goal.
Yes, and the players in the midfield for Collingwood just congratulating each other, and great recovery there by Pitt too, and Williams again proving so effective in that area. Here's the pressure in the middle of the ground.
There's Williams there, Ross, on centre wing as well.
He's just pushed his way forward. Wild just feeding off. Swash, not quite. Nearly a good jump by Rocker. I'm not sure this ball didn't quite go over the line before. Oh no, on the line. Well done.
Well, it's all Collingwood in this third term. 4 great goals. As McKernan gets it out of the centre and finds Adam Simpson. The Roos need to pin it back, and quickly. A lot of relief for the North Melbourne crowd here. Simpson will kick from 40 metres out. 25 metres out on his left boot. They get one back. It was much needed. North Melbourne's 8th. Collingwood 11-8 to North 8-7. Collingwood have kicked 4 goals. Williams 1, Pitt 1, Rocker 2, and Adam Simpson kicking North Melbourne's first for this quarter.
Yeah, just an important one to steady them and just break that streak by Collingwood. And some of the North players just a bit rattled, just a little unsure about where they are, who their particular player is.
Back to the centre of the ground. McKernan and Monkhorst. Again, McKernan with the left hand. Roberts getting a lot of the ball this term on his left boot. Gets it out of the centre. It's all Collingwood. Richardson overruns the ball. Buckley on the burst. Excellent work against Carey. Great follow-up. But it's Schwartz who intercepts the ball. Has to kick quickly. Richardson and Brown, 2-on-1 on Archer. Bell, good roving in front of the pack. Gets it to his left boot. And taken by Scott Burns in defence.
Burns in the back pocket. Oh, bad mistake here. Snapped by Simpson. There's another one. Costly error by the Pies defence. 2 in this quarter to Simpson. And the Magpies pay the ultimate price.
Yeah, it's an obvious one, Pete. We always say if you're going to go across goal, back into the corridor, you've got to be spot on with your hand or foot disposal.
There's 25 points the difference a couple of minutes ago. Terrible error here.
Yes, Pyman just knowing that if he didn't take it cleanly, he was in trouble. And Shawbull is back on.
So Adam Simpson, 2 quick goals as Shawbull comes back on. North Melbourne getting themselves back into this contest very quickly after trailing by 25 points. Scotty Russell's kick is up towards half forward, and that's a good mark. Taken down in that position by Pitt. He kicked the Magpies' last goal. They'd love another one here. He may be just a little bit too far out. It's 11-8 to 9-7. Collingwood leading by 25 points, minutes back. He's decided to centre it instead. Richardson, the target. Wild, an opportunity. Blakey's got it. A little give. Schwass. Anderson will measure the hand pass. Good tackle by Pyman. Wild onto Patterson. Patterson on his right foot. Kicks at goal. Has missed, or is it coming around? No. It's one behind. Kicked by Patterson. 1-1. He has kicked. Collingwood 11-9. North Melbourne 9-7. King to kick in.
Great start to this third term. 13 minutes gone. Plenty of action. 4 goals to 2. Big high flies. McKernan at the back of the pack over McDonald. Takes a great grab. McKernan starting to get into the game after quarter time. Off to Anderson. In defence. Plenty of latitude. Is Freeborn. North Melbourne side of centre wing. Kicks it long. Up forward. Carey in the middle of the pack. Unable to take the mark. Shawbull went up on a stretcher earlier with a magnificent hip and shoulder from Bell. Back on the ground. Punch from Freeborn in front of Burns. Richardson had a good game for the Pies today. Williams, multiple goal kicker for Collingwood off to Krasiska. Beautiful pass. Centimetre perfect. I love Dennis Cometti. To Wild. Back to Williams from 50. Can he repeat it again? Up into the goal square to Rocker.
Yes.
Sav Rocker giving Mickey Martin a complete run around this term. He's kicked 4, 2 in the first term, 2 in the third, and setting Collingwood up for a much-needed victory. Williams again, Ross.
He's featuring, yes. 11 kicks now. They've all been pretty important ones.
Sav Rocker, 4, lining for his 5th. And he's 46th for the season in 12 games. Previous 3 years, he kicked 93 last year, 49 in 94 and 73 in 93. And the current Copeland Trophy, best and fairest. Can't sneak it in. 4 goals, 2 to Sav Rocker. Collingwood 11-9, 11-10 to North Melbourne 9-7. 15
points the difference. It was 25 earlier in the quarter. Collingwood's biggest lead. Schwass kicks into Roberts. His 3rd term so far, his best of the match. Midfield, none can bring it down. Brown gives it straight to Danilchenko. Couple of bounces to half forward. Carey stands in the way of Crow. Back to Buckley. Francis played the first half of the match in a long sleeve jersey. He's obviously well and truly warmed up now. Monkhorst, great to see him back. Adds a bit of fire around the ground when the chips are down. The big monkey kicks to Big Sav. Two boys who ran out of petrol on the bay during the week. I think they've got plenty of petrol left in the tank today, the Magpies. Mark down there taken by Burns, moved well down the ground. He too played the first half in long sleeves. Number 14 is Matty Armstrong, about to come back on.
They're replacing his teammate of Fitzroy as well in John Blakey.
Back with Burns, now still having a bit of a dish up. It's coming around. That's a goal. Terrific kick. He measured that one. So Burns kicks his first, and just what the Magpies needed after Adam Simpson have got two quick goals. It's 12-10 to 9-7.
Yes, and they're really rewarding themselves for their effort, Collingwood. They're putting everything on the line in this third quarter and reaping the reward with good goals. And again, some of the North defenders unsure of who their man is and not prepared to go and pick someone up.
Scotty Burns putting Collingwood 21 points in front. One stage led by 25 points in this term. The two quick goals from Adam Simpson reduced that deficit. Now back to 21 as we have another bounce. Umpire Steve McBurney. Plenty of atmosphere now.
Fairley's gone back onto rocket too.
Collingwood supporters with their hearts in their mouths. McKernan and Monkhorst. McKernan again with the left hand. Helped on by Robert Scott with a nice little touch. Nathan Buckley coming out from fullback. He's played a serviceable, excellent game on Wayne Carey. Carey's kicked 3, but Buckley's done a lot of attacking out of the back line and prepared to back his own judgment. And it's been an excellent effort. You see Tony Francis throwing himself in. Kicked a goal in the second term. McKernan again, right-handed this time. Danilchenko forced to rush the kick, left foot. Close to the boundary. Freeborn. Clever inboard. Disciplined play by Carey, punching from behind. A Stewart and Anderson meets it at 50. Has a long ping at the big ones, but only manages a little one.
First score of the day by Anderson. A minor one. The difference back to 20 points. Buckley again will kick in. He's kicked in short today. The best kick in the side. And again, kicks in short. Oh, that's a terrible kick, really, from him. The end result was okay. Went to Brown, but off the boot, it wasn't that good. Pyman, a little give. Chain of hand passes. Prestigiacomo dumped to the ground. Ball jarred free in the tackle and picked up by Burns. Burns' kick looking for Monkhorst. Couldn't find him. Williams, always dangerous. Can't get clear on this occasion. Wild doesn't get a good bounce this time. Back to Shawbull. Then we got collected again. Instead applies a tackle. They get Schwass underneath all that.
He kept it in though, Pete. That was very important. It could have been whisked away down the boundary, but did very well.
So it's going to be a bounce inside 50. Collingwood's attacking zone. Magpies leading 82-62. After it was 1 point the difference at half-time. Monkhorst, Schwass, Russell and Bell. Wild. That might be too high.
Oh, look, Patterson for me, Pete, didn't it?
Danilchenko kicks towards midfield. Carey too far underneath it. Schultz comes in to apply a tackle. It's going to be a Collingwood free kick.
Krasiska too high, Pete.
The recipient is Krasiska. Kicks to Brown, and Brown gets on his bike very quickly.
Kevin Brown does a nice little blind turn. Comic book stuff. Inside 50, looking for Rocker, can't jump. It's held to the ground. Danilchenko on top of that. And Pitt, and a push in the back, says umpire McBurney to Dean Laidley for North Melbourne. Spent a bit of time at West Coast, now at North. Off to Mickey Martin. He's had his hands full with Rocker. Rocker's kick 4. But Matty Armstrong just came off the bench. To David King. Ex-Port player. King, the speedster, kicking long. Good punch by Shawbull. Stretch it earlier in the game. Now it's Rock trying to bustle his way through the pack. Scott Russell with good vision to Shawbull. Under pressure. Pyman caught. Buckley down from fullback. The Collingwood supporters loving this. Buckley puts it high. Inside 50. Rocker flies. Patterson tried to get the handball away. He hit Markhurst on his own. We've got a free kick to Collingwood. Telling Wayne Schwass too high to Stephen Patterson. Bit of advice from Tony Francis to settle down. Got plenty of time. There it is against Wayne Schwass. And Stephen Patterson, 1 goal 1. He's kicked so far today. Directly in front, goes in short. Rocker is the man. Collingwood screaming for 50. Melbourne not happy with the treatment from Ian Fairley. Umpire McBurney trying to settle this down. Tempers flaring. Half time. 50 metres, he's got it.
Yeah, should be.
Rocker will kick from point blank range.
Yes, it's a good lead by Fairley.
And Markhurst is telling Ian Fairley where to go. So Sav Rocker will kick his 3rd for the quarter, 5th for the game, and Collingwood's 13th for the match.
And again, a good setup by Collingwood, just waiting for the right option there.
26 points the difference. The Maggies are on fire.
13-10 to 9-8. That's their biggest margin today. Earlier in the game, North Melbourne led by 21 points, so that's a pretty big turnaround when you add it up, Ross.
Yeah, it is, Pete. 6 goals to 1 in this quarter. It's been a terrific effort by Collingwood. They've really asserted themselves in this quarter. They chipped the ball around, found the right option, and directed the ball in front of goal inside 50.
After a 50-metre penalty, Sav Rocker has kicked his 50, has 5 goals, 2 this afternoon, so 26 points is the margin. McKernan and Rocker go at it. Crow's kick smothered. It's hacked out of mid-air to Roberts. Might be not quite the distance from Mark. Prestigiacomo's quick kick intercepted by Rock. Rock's little give taken by Schwass. Not the most popular man in front of the Collingwood part of the crowd. Now a chance for Armstrong. Plenty of space for him on centre wing. Kick falls a little bit shorter than he would have liked. Big fly from behind was by Shawbull. Perhaps might have been a better option, but he backed his judgment. Football underneath Burns there, who's kicked one of Collingwood's goals in this quarter, and the umpire will bounce it. Centre half forward for North Melbourne. We have 5.5 minutes remaining in the term. Easily a North ball. Francis and Bell. Francis will be more than content to see this over the boundary line, and it gets there in front of Bell. Bell was the player who earlier shirt-fronted Shawbull in that collision. Shawbull carried off, but he's now back on the ground. Looks like Francis from the back. Matty Francis, former Tiger. Archer. Can't get clear. Crow fists the ball well and truly over the boundary line. So the Magpies get it out of the danger zone. Well, almost. It's about 55 to 60 metres out from the North Melbourne goal at the Roos left half forward flank. A few clouds coming across.
Carey's gone to centre half back too, Pete. Archer back on the forward line.
Interesting move. McKernan. Now Simpson, who's kicked 2 goals in this quarter for North Melbourne. Scholl in front has taken a very good mark. Let out well from Krasiska. Snared it on his chest and a chance to reduce that deficit. 1 goal 1 today. Scholl, and again Simpson in the assist. He kicks this goal. Distance won't be a problem for him. 30 metres out. He kicks and goals. So Craig Scholl keeps North Melbourne in the contest. It's still very much that, his second for the day. And the Roos come 6 points closer. At the MCG, it's 13-10 to 10-8. The difference back to 20 points.
Yes, and Dennis Pagan trying to just shuffle his side to get some bite down that forward line. And at the moment when they bounce the ball, they'll almost have every player in North's forward line up toward the 50-metre arc. Carey to centre half back. Archer back to the forward line.
It's Collingwood by 20 points. Tony Shaw will be very pleased thus far. Doesn't want to be remembered as the only coach to lose 9 in a row, or one of the coaches to lose 9 in a row, as Shawbull comes across the front of the pack. Gavin Brown in support. The Collingwood defenders, different side today. Focused, a lot of stability. I think Scotty Crowe down there as well. Buckley on Carey. Buckley again following up, kicking long, looking for Williams. Cleverly taps into Monkhorst, but David King with more pace picks the ball up and relieves the pressure for North Melbourne. Blakey in front of Scotty Russell, plays on quickly. Long kick. Drop punt. In front of the pack, North can't grab it. Armstrong, good roving. Archer has plenty of time in front of goal. 40 metres. Kick's good. Glenn Archer, another one for the Kangaroos.
Beautiful handball by Matty Armstrong too to set that up. Clever tap by Williams on their forward line for Collingwood, that is, trying to bring it inboard for Monkhorst. Just had the leg speed, the idea was terrific, and King's clearing kick was effective. And in front, almost to mark to Simpson, and Armstrong here, as I said, terrific handball to set up Archer. Could have had a bounce if he wanted to, but he was still accurate from 40.
So North Melbourne saying to Collingwood, well, if you want the 4 points, you're going to have to take them. We're not going to lie down. Back to 14 points, the margin now. Under 4 minutes remaining in the third term. It's been a good one. Monkhorst this time. Slapped up towards half forward by Prestigia Como. Roberts again. Blind hand pass to Richardson. Buckley. Buckley's kick past half forward fairly in front of Rocker this time. Goes for the boundary line. Rock. Kicks to Danilchenko, sticky fingers, he's got the mark. Danilchenko, right centre wing. Long bomb. McKernan got his name written all over it, too tall. And they're right back in this North Melbourne. A low spot mid-quarter, but they've really bounced right back.
Well played in, fairly to at full-back. A beautiful pick-up on the run for a big fellow. Down at his toes, picked it up cleanly, cleared the ball to Rock, and they end up with a shot at goal.
And if he kicks this, and you would expect him to kick it from there, the difference will be 8 points, and still 3 minutes before three-quarter time. So North Melbourne could actually hit the lead at the final change. A little skip kick, beautifully executed, a goal. 8 points in it at the MCG.
Important kick for Corey McKernan, because he's not a particularly accurate shot on a regular basis from that distance. 17-21 his kick coming to this game. And there's the kick coming down from Rocker. Good mark too by Danilchenko. That's what he can do if he's on song.
North Melbourne have got the answers. Big names, big team lifters. McKernan, Archer, Carey's at centre half back. Armstrong out of the pack. Richardson's taken. Mark Roberts is there. Mark Richardson had a very good game today for Collingwood. 7 kicks, 4 marks, 8 handballs. Presented himself well.
3 goals in 3.5 minutes to North Melbourne.
Yep.
Russ.
Excellent effort. Never say die, the Kangaroos. As there's a free kick for holding, I think a free kick to Monkhorst. Ruck infringement. Off to Scott Crowe. Former Hawk to Grosiska. Good lead up for Collingwood. Stephen Pitt in front of Carey. Doesn't have the pace or the balance for a throw in. Just under 2.5 minutes left in this term. 1 point the difference at half time. Danilchenko and Monkhorst. No clear winner. Danilchenko off the knees to Carey. Quick kick to Buckley, his former opponent. We feel very pleased having Wayne Carey moved off him. Long kick inside 50. Looking for... Oh! Who's it, Rocker or...
It's
Stephen Pitt. Oh, magnificent.
That's Carey's man. He had the chance to have a fly, Carey, but sat back.
Yeah,
Watch this, you might just see that he's just sitting back expecting Flossie Fairley to do most of it.
Oh, well, Rocker helped him bring it down.
I think
Yep,
so,
excellent
yeah.
effort. Yeah, good effort by the teammates.
Big fly, wasn't it, from Sav?
Yep. Stephen Pitt lining up for his third. Started on the bench, came on, provided a lot of movement around that half-forward line, also a lot to aim for in the air. Great goal, Stephen Pitt. Excellent work by the young ex-Norwood player.
What's the real steadier they wanted? It's 14-10 now to 12-8, 14 points in it.
That's a terrific grab too by Pitt. Again, Buckley making full use of his kicking skills, getting good distance and fairly providing a bit of a chair there. Well done, Pitt.
3 goals to Stephen Pitt and a real steadier for the Magpies. It's back to 14 points inside the last 2 minutes of the third quarter. It'll be very crucial in the wash-up of this game the next couple of minutes. Prasiska has the mark. Gavin Prasiska, Collingwood veteran, to half-forward. Big Sab, a little nudge of the body against Fairley. And was it fairly done or was it unfair? Umpire says it's okay.
Thought it might have been a little bit before, Pete, before the ball was in 5 metres.
Did look a tad early, Ross, didn't it?
Still, that's the umpire's interpretation.
He's given Rocker the benefit of the doubt. Sab has kicked 5 goals, 2. Not beyond him to kick this from 60 metres. Oh, that is a mammoth kick. What a goal. Fantastic kick.
It's his 4th for the quarter, Pete.
4th for the quarter, 6-2 for the match, and the difference back to 20 points with 1 minute to go.
That is a beautiful kick, it really is. Just timing. Prasiska again kicking the ball from the 50-metre. There's that nudge, perhaps a tad early, but again the umpire in best position there. And a magnificent kick by Rocker.
It's Collingwood by 20 points. They led by 26. North kicked them back. They kicked 3 in 3 minutes. Now there's another 2 goals in 2 minutes for the Collingwood side. As Alex McDonald gets it out of the centre, thanks to Damien Monkhorst. But Mickey Martin takes the timely mark in defence off to Carey, being moved to centre-half back. Needs stability down there. Armstrong to David King, the speedster. Driving it long. Pack flies, no one can mark it. Scott Crowe meets it on the run. Archer, another one, recovers quickly. Caught! Great tackle by Scotty Burns, holding the ball. Burns off quickly. Paul Williams on centre wing. Send it over the top to Monkhorst. He does. Inboard again to Williams. Back to Tony Francis. Over to Williams. Here's another chance for him to show us what he's made of from the boundary. Kick looks pretty good. That's close. It's wide. Oh. What a magnificent effort from Williams.
2-4.
Reminded me much of Peter Matera, 1991 grand final against Geelong, Ross. On the run.
Yep.
Great stuff to see.
12 seconds to three-quarter time. The difference is 21 points. Monkhorst and McCurtain. Can the Magpies get another one? McDonald will have to be quick. They need a mark here. Wild in front, hasn't got the height to match Carey. The ball hits the deck. So do the players. There's no mark. It's been disallowed. And again on the bell, just a little bit of disagreement. Ian Fairley coming in to remonstrate with the umpire. Scotty Russell has turned his back on everything. He's walking to the huddle. And Collingwood can be very pleased with their third quarter because at half-time they led by 1 point. It was level at quarter time, and they've extended that to 21 points at the final change after at one stage leading by 26. North have come back, but Collingwood have answered them so far. So at the final change at three-quarter time, Collingwood trying to break a run of outs, which is extended to 8 matches, 15-11, 101, North Melbourne, 12-8, 80. The final quarter from the MCG, Collingwood leading by 21 points. Is their run of 8 successive defeats about to come to an end? North Melbourne will have something to say about that. McCurtain taps down. Quick kick out of the middle from Matty Armstrong towards left half forward. Archer and Brown. Archer gets there first. Didn't take the mark. Might have got a free kick. Glenn Archer wants to get play moving quickly. Shawball punches. He was coming off on a stretcher earlier and has come back pretty well. That's out of bounds. North Melbourne's left forward pocket. North in the second quarter led by 21 points, but Collingwood pegged them back. But at half-time, the Maggies actually led by 1 point after scores were level at quarter time. McCurtain and Richardson. McCurtain out the back, which was pretty good ruck play, and the ball rushed through for one behind. So the first score of the final quarter, a rush behind to North Melbourne. League leaders, Collingwood in 13th place on the ladder. Earlier in the season they were 4th. Their last win was way back in May. Brown played on and was caught. Prestigiacomo, Gavin Krasiska from left half back, kicks towards Scotty Russell. Russell, long looping hand pass at half forward. Well, Burns caught. Wild, can he make amends? He gets it back to Russell. They're under plenty of pressure. McDonald to Williams. If he's quick, if he's accurate, he kicks and goes. Great play from the Woods. There were a few possessions there, and that's just what the doctor ordered. The doctor meaning Tony Shaw. It's 16-11 to 12-9.
Yeah, good transference of play there, coming right down the ground and players free. Not sure what Patterson was thinking there, just to take it on his chest almost like a mark. He must have thought it was kicked to him.
The pace
of Williams, the pace of Williams there. And always a good finisher from there.
Back to the centre it goes after Williams' third. Collingwood 16-11, 12-9, 26 points the difference. It's Monkey again, gets the tap. Had plenty of influence in this game, Damien Monkhorst. Hasn't had a lot of possessions, but just his influence and authority around the ball has been excellent. Much needed for Collingwood. Using his body, experience, his mouth. Again, pushing McKernan out of the way.
Did you get stats for your mouth, Russ?
You would have.
Yeah.
Well, it's only his 9th game for the year. He's missed a few through injury.
But he's welcome back with open arms from the Collingwood Army. Good punch. Off to Scotty Russell. Patterson unable to take the mark. Armstrong burrowing his way through. Jason Wild now a chance. Looking for support. Scott Crow is that. Around the corner. They're looking for a lucky bounce. Sav Rocker brings it down to the pack. Stephen Pitt has already got 3 under his belt. Could it be number 4?
Yes!
Stephen Pitt, youngster from Norwood, could be a match winner for the Pies. Started on the bench, come on across centre half forward. He now has Wayne Carey playing on him. Just kicked his 4th goal. Could be a match-winning performance.
Yeah, he's been the catalyst for the return of Collingwood in that 3rd quarter particularly. And just has been attacking the ball. He's done it very, very well.
It's only his 6th game of footy in the AFL. He's got 4 goals. He was the final player selected in the 1995 National Draft. 17-11 to 12-9 Collingwood, shaping up as one of the upsets of the round. 13 playing 1, and the Magpies set to break their long drought. McKernan's kick, high but not very long, towards the edge of the square. Scholl, ridden into the ground, no free kick according to the umpire. Rock's little kick up towards the 50-metre line. Crow chops it off, runs into Anderson. Pretty useful ball here. McKernan! Great stuff. Bell, a little give to Danilchenko. They should get one here. And they don't. One behind. Kicked by Jason Danilchenko. A goal would have been more than handy for the Roos. Danilchenko's 2nd behind of the day. North Melbourne's 12th at 17-11 to 12-10. So 31 points, is that the difference? Yep. In the final quarter. Nathan Buckley again to kick in. Buckley's been pretty good today.
That's a great kick.
Fantastic kick. Hasn't always kicked long. Prestigiacomo this time on the end of it. Wild. Krasiska, not a good hand pass. Let himself down. Francis still gets it back to Krasiska. That was better. His left footer. The big Sav can't take the mark. And Laidley, the junkyard dog, mops up.
Laidley shoots it out from half back. Across the face of goal to Roberts. Does the right thing, handballs it over to Armstrong, sells the dummy, Collingwood buy it, kicks it high, inside 50, bit misdirected, allowing Shawble an easy punch over the top, but a free kick for too high against Alex McDonald will go to John Blakey. Former Fitzroy's player, decides to play it quickly, kicks long, kick looks pretty good, but offline for only 1 behind the North Melbourne side. Taking them to 12-11, 30 points the difference, 5 straight goals. Tony Shaw looking very nervous and anxious with Danny Frawley.
I'm sure he is, Russ.
Back onto the phone, Stan Magro on his right-hand side, and James Manson up there behind him, the former Collingwood ruckman. all past players.
And for Troy Rucker.
Yeah. Buckley coming up to kick out. Another beautiful kick, finding Gavin Brown. Collingwood do this very well from the kick out. Keeping possession. Up towards centre wing. Tony Francis on his own. Schwass over the top. Doesn't infringe. Chris Siska now around the corner. Patterson fights well. Gives it off to Williams, has been a match winner for Collingwood. Monkhorst can't mark. The ball bounces off his big chest. Now McDonald gets a rush kick inside 50. Wild will take the mark. 45 out. Goes in short. Paul Williams. Collingwood starting to get on top. Big time.
Guess where he is again, in that 30 to 50 metre area. Williams just gets into that space beautifully.
He should go back and take a long run, and you'd reckon he'd kick it.
He's got 4 goals, 3 goals, 4, and 1 out of bounds. One of those goals from 55 on the run. Typical Williams style. Beautiful goal. This one, it's close. The Collingwood supporters like it. The Collingwood team love it.
It's been so important today for Collingwood to have assistance for Rocker with his 6 goals so far. Now Williams with 4 to complement Pitt with 4. They've had players up forward in an area where I thought they may have struggled today to kick goals and be dangerous. And those players have stepped up beautifully.
Well, Pitt, Williams and Sav Rocker have really led the charge on the forward line. Williams kicked some magnificent goals. The strong marking of Rocker had Martin take it away from him. Bottom line is that the difference is now out to 36 points, and we still have 15 minutes to go. Collingwood looking good. McCurtain taps down. Williams again. Wild. Same 2 players combining. Anderson will stand the mark. He's too far out to goal from there. Goes in short, and it's Crowe who's moved down to take the mark right on 50. So Scotty Crowe, a former Hawk, played only 13 games there, but he's played all 14 this year with the Magpies. Williams and the big monkey. And the monkey has got the mark. Damien Monkhorst, well, he landed heavily there. That was about 4.8 on the Richter scale. The Great Southern Stand shook.
As Russell said, he's been very important to Collingwood today, just to add another dimension with their height and give North something to worry about. Battle very hard.
Do you reckon he looks a bit tired?
I think he looks a little weary.
He's looking for petrol.
He was during the week too. Damien Monkhorst. 40 metres out, directly in front. Funny kicking style. The end result is what the Magpies wanted. He's kicked a goal. Well, this is a fantastic performance from Collingwood. Rank outsiders here today, and they lead now by 42 points.
Yes, and Anderson's been taken off the ground by North, just allowing Wild, his opponent, too much latitude. And good grab by Monkey and a good finish.
Collingwood have come out scratching, fighting. Never say die, the Pies. Looks like it won't be 9 in a row for Tiny Shaw. Losses, that is. There's Nathan Buckley on centre wing, who's had a sensational game for the Pies at full-back. Kept Wayne Carey to 3 goals and delivered the ball beautifully. Williams, uncharacteristically missing that mark. Wayne Schwass dancing around, doing it well, allowing him to have a bounce. Plenty of time now. And finding Anthony Rock on centre wing. Turns, goes inboard, decides to kick long, looking for Scholl it is. Scholl unable to mark the ball. Richardson does well to evade North Melbourne defenders. Pushed Giacomo, slides it off to Pyman. Had a good first quarter, Pyman, been quiet since. Andrew Shawble in defence, can play on and set something up for Collingwood. Changes direction, looking for the monkey, but it's Mickey Martin who's got the pace and the match fitness. Sharks it in front of him and finds John Blakey on centre wing. We've played 10 and a half minutes in this final term as Blakey spins around on his left boot. McDonald, eyes on the ball in front of Peter Bell. It's a foot race. Decides to punch the ball along the ground. The boundary line's the backman's best friend. Be a throw in. North Melbourne side of centre wing. 1911 plays 12-11, 7 straight goals in Collingwood's favour. McDonald against Blakey. Robert Scott caught with the ball. Alex McDonald covered by Jason Danilchenko, and it'll be another bounce.
On centre wing, 12 3/4 minutes left in this match. And Collingwood, can you believe, leading by 42 points after losing their previous 8 games. Their last success way back in early May. Monkhorst taps down, tackle by Williams. That is, I think, Wayne Schwass underneath all that. It is. So Schwatter the last to get up. But the tackling of Collingwood today has been superb. Their endeavour has been even better. Monkhorst certainly made a difference. Rock's kick up and under, and he travels 35 metres down towards right half forward. McCurtain certainly been one of their best. Burns a little give. Shawble, his courage has been fantastic. Armstrong's kick again short. Brown couldn't take the mark. Bell beautifully picked up, and he tripped himself. Scholl back to Bell. They're working hard for their goals if they're to get one here. Big clack. Shawble was a Prestigiacomo, it was. Snapped by Freeborn.
Good throw, Pete. Umpire saying that Archer scooped it up with his left hand rather than tapping it. My first impression, I thought it was okay.
So Darryl here has called it again. Free kick to the Maggies in the last line of defence. Nathan Buckley. Longest kick in the side. Which way is he going to go? He's gone towards the outer side, and pinpoint accuracy finding Gavin Krasiska. Again, Collingwood runs it out. Not as far as they would have liked, because Scott's in the road at centre wing. Gets it back towards half forward. Is he giving a mark to that?
It's a mark.
He is.
That's a great
Crow. Well, Armstrong had his name on it, and Crow pinched it. There might have been a couple of hands there. Extra. Burns in front of Bell has grabbed the mark. Burns, one of Collingwood's goal kickers. 3 have stood out. Williams, Pitt and Sav Rocker. Back to Francis. The Magpies now using up time, and they haven't.
Tony Francis has plenty of that, but will be disappointed with that disposal as he gives it straight to Glenn Archer. He had Gavin Brown on his own. Archer offloads quickly. Simpson unable to hold it. Manages to get it to Blakey, who has a ping, but there's only Scotty Crow on his own in that goal square for Collingwood. Changes direction now. Shawble in front, unable to take the mark. Krasiska on the burst, does it excellently. Bends his back. Offloads now to Prestigiacomo, centre wing. Wayne Carey at centre half back. Gets a raspberry from the Collingwood crowd as he takes the mark. Offloads to Rock. Mickey Martin trying to set up some sort of system here, North Melbourne. They're 7 goals down. Wayne Schwass on centre wing takes a nice little mark over Williams. But Williams will have the last laugh. He's kicked 4 today. Been a great player. Laidley, serviceable.
Oh.
Roberts wasn't too sure about that one. From 50, we'll have a big kick for the big ones. Kick looks pretty good, but last line of defence taken by Andrew Shawble.
Shawble to Buckley. When it goes to Patterson. Patterson from just wide of the centre square. Kicks to half forward. Pitt takes the mark. A real surprise packet. Started on the bench and has got 4 goals. Only his 6th game of footy. Down towards full forward. Matthew Francis is there. He spent a bit of time on the bench. He might be able to kick a goal if he gets clear. Got it to Pyman. King. King takes it wide. Armstrong should mark, and does, at left half back. Kick towards centre wing. Rock. Started well. Still he goes. Now the kick towards half forward, and Scholl. Collision down there with Crow. Bell. Archer a chance. Not too much support for him. Tried to get it back to Freeborn, didn't work, and Burns was there to chop it off. Wild. It's got a pretty good game. Pitt. Long kick by the former Norwood player. Big Sam, yes! He had paid the mark. Terrific grab over Fairley. 10 marks he's taken. He's kicked 6 goals too, and I think 4 in the 3rd quarter.
And Pitt again featuring. It is a great mark, Pete, to have pressure like that just to pull it in one hand. Definitely controlled it.
So big Sav Rocker, a chance to really make the game safe for Collingwood if it isn't already. At 41 before the match started. And if he kicks this, Collingwood will have kicked the last 7 goals of the game. "35 metres out, directly in front. He kicks. He goes. The Magpies are home.
And just showing the importance of his value to the side, Sav Rock. If they get the ball down there often enough, allowing one out contest, he is tough to beat. He had plenty of support, and that's been the important thing today. And they've also used the ball very well, Collingwood. They've come out of defence with precision. Their players from the midfield presenting themselves, and the forwards have finished it off well.
So Maggies by 8 goals. This was in Monkhorst, receiving a well-earned massage into his back or into his hamstrings. McKernan with that big left hand again, but to no avail. Pack forms, Armstrong's amongst it, Francis, Williams, as well as Swash and Danilchenko.
Let's hope the big Muckie's okay, because he really has made a difference out there
I
today.
think it'll just be a bit of match fitness. Pete, with 8 goals up, you can afford to have a bit of a rest on the sideline. Matty Francis is there, and Mark Richardson. So Francis and McKernan. Pyman can get it away with a high kick. Mick Martin underneath it. Eyes on the ball, straight onto that big chest. Finding Rock on centre wing. Kicked a goal in the first term, Anthony Rock. Had plenty of the ball. That was his 26th kick. King, been good for North Melbourne. Great mark in front of Adam Simpson. It's Jason Wild.
He's been a good player.
Oh, excellent player. 6 kick, 9 marks, and 12 handballs. Tough stuff. I think those bruises don't last as long when you win, Ross.
You're right there.
Well, you don't feel them as much, at least. Nathan Buckley from full-back. 21st kick for Buckley. Long one at that. Matty Francis can't mark. Laidley trying to set something up for Rock. Untimely slip, putting Roberts under pressure. Scoops it out to King. Kicks long and wide. McKernan in the way of Crow. Clever stuff by McKernan. Scoops it back inboard for Peter Bell. Great hip and shoulder from him on Shawbull. Stretcher case. Williams trying to spin out of McKernan's way, unable to do so. McKernan now from 45 will have a kick. Scholl in the square with Krasiska. 1-on-1, they both fall down. They both look up for the umpire. Good umpiring. Out of bounds.
Well, they both had their eyes on the footy. So the umpire says, throw it in. Richardson, he started off well in the first quarter. Brown, a little give. And again, Francis just using up time. He's got that on his side now. There's 6 minutes to go, but he knows that Collingwood just have to hang on here. And their endeavour has been absolutely fantastic. So boundary throw in. Right half forward flank. Carey in the ruck now, or has certainly contested that throw in. Scotty Russell goes for the boundary line. Tony Francis gives him a well done, likewise Nathan Buckley. Collingwood, of course, will be hoping that they can hang on to Nathan Buckley next year, but the big rumour is that he's going to Port Power. That would be a savage blow for the Woods. Francis in a bear hug from Carey. Damien Monkhorst walks the boundary line, shouting instructions. I don't know whether he's going to come back on or not, but he's going to be part of the victory celebrations, that's for sure, one way or the other. Armstrong. Shawbull taken down. Schwass to Rock, who's certainly been a good trier for the Roos. Huge pack of players down there. Bell, Brown, off the ground Archer, still he goes. Tackled by Burns. The umpire says it's a stalemate, and Archer will have to give it back to the umpire for a ball up. Glenn Archer scored 1 goal today. Simpson, a snap. Kicked 2 goals in the third quarter to get the Roos back into it. Krasiska, though, gives it to Buckley, and again the Woods safely out of danger.
Kick number 21 for Buckley off to Scotty Crow. Nathan Buckley leading the kicks for Collingwood in the league. Scott Crow, former Hawk, adding a lot of stability to the Collingwood defence today. Williams spinning and turning. Prestige Como from 55. High ball. Sav Rocker. Big Sav has 7 notches on his belt so far today.
If he kicks this will be his 49th for the year, right?
He had Mickey Martin as an opponent early. Now he's got Ian Fairley. Been a match winner. A lot of them today. We've got Paul Williams has kicked 4.
What about Pitt?
Stephen Pitt, after quarter time, has got 4. And Rocker has 7. Lining up for Collingwood's 21st. Long and low. The Maggies by 9 goals. And the final nail in the North Melbourne coffin. Big Sav very happy.
Gee, it's a great win for Collingwood, it really is. The situation they're in, and Rocker, with his marking today, has predominantly got his goals from those big strong marks. And he's just been hard to beat. As Russell mentioned, Martin first, now Fairley. 2 pretty competent players, particularly in that position. And he's done it so very well.
So back to the centre. Collingwood supporters starting to enjoy this. Pyman. Kickers to half forward. King. And a Martin. Martin's kick towards centre wing. Marking contest there. Scotty Russell. Wasn't waiting for the umpire's decision. Shawbull probably had it. Brown. Matthew Francis from midfield. Like his namesake. Nimble. Martin gets back. Laidley stumbles. Ahmat having a run for the first time today. The cleanest man out there, but can't gather it in. Pretty tough in the clinches. The umpire has found a free kick. Might be going Laidley's way. It is. Dean Laidley. Blakey breaks for him. He's gone further than that, or this could be costly. Fairley didn't get there. Blakey in more trouble than the early settlers. Finally Laidley kicks towards the member stand flank and taken over there by Russell. A throw in, 55 metres from the Collingwood goal. 3 minutes left in the match. One that North would prefer to forget, but the Magpies coming back. Probably won't make the finals this year. They'd have to win every game, but who's to say when you beat the top side like this? But they couldn't do that. Pyman. Francis. Francis's kick only travels about 25 yards or metres. Mickey Martin takes the mark. Rock. Through the gloom, getting pretty dark here at the MCG. Darker for North Melbourne than Collingwood for sure. And that's out of bounds between wing and half forward. 2.5 minutes remaining in the match.
So Maggies by 9 goals. Lissenden spent a bit of time, a lot of the time on the bench, and Matty Francis over to Tony Francis, his namesake. High ball inside 50. Roberts the big punch towards the boundary line. Big Sav and Jason Wild unable to save the ball. A couple of minutes left in this final term. Collingwood easily. Great turnaround for the Maggies. Very pleasing for Tony Shaw. They needed to win this. Close to the boundary, close to the goal. Scotty Russell. Fresh air shot. Head in the air. And misses it completely. The ball beats him over for 1 behind. 21-12. David King will kick in and kick long. Wayne Schwass unable to take the mark. Good punching by the Collingwood defence. As Williams from 45. Line up for his number 5. There it is.
Oh, he's been fantastic.
Very close to best on ground, Paul Williams. 5 goals from the midfielder. Absolutely excellent effort.
18 and 6.
Yep.
Outstanding performance.
Well, he's certainly in the votes, and
we're not trying to influence you, Ross.
no, not at all. But I'd say Buckley, Williams, Rocker, and certainly Pitt for his 3rd quarter just really has helped assert Collingwood over North Melbourne, and they've really gone on with the last quarter. It's been a great effort by the Pies.
5 goals to Paul Williams, 8 to Sav Rocker, 4 to Stephen Pitt. 144 plays 83 now, and we've still got 2 minutes to go in the match. So the run of 8 is history now as far as the Magpies are concerned. Lissenden having a run in the ruck for North. The under-19 star down at Arden Street. The umpire will bounce this. just a few metres from the centre circle. Danchenko will hand the ball back to the umpire. What do you think is really, there's one thing you can put your finger on, Ross, that's given Collingwood a bit of an impetus today?
And I just think they've had every player, Pete, working very, very hard.
McDonald to half forward, that's as far as it's going. Roberts to Martin. Oh dear, that might be the story of their day. He collides with Rock, gets it back to Roberts. The Fridges kick towards half forward. Huge pack of players there. Is that a mark? McKernan's got it. He came down with it anyway. Rob the old kick. Shawble does well. Buckley kicked them better than that, Nathan Buckley. Can't expect 65-metre jobs every time though. Scott keeps the ball in play. Don't know whether it was the right option. Matty Armstrong gets taken high in the tackle, will get the free kick. Loses a few metres to Rock. Plenty of kicks against his name today. Kick to half forward, Bell and Bevan. Tackled by Archer. It rebounds though to Crow. Crow's kick marked by Pyman.
Pyman kicks off one step, looking for Matty Francis. Shoves Eric Lissenden out. And umpire Steve McBurney says, yes, I agree with that one, and he'll get a free kick on centre wing. It's all over for North Melbourne. Collingwood by 9 goals, 1. An excellent effort from the Pies. Desperate numbers at the ball. 3 against 1 at the ball. As Bevan, the first gamer, be very pleased with this one. Kicks long. Prestigiacomo. Look for Sav Rocker on the chest and finds him. Sav will have the last kick of the game, and it could be goal number 9.
Which would be his 50th of the year.
Goal number 8.
He's got 8
He's
so
already
far.
got 8. Goal number 9. I was right the first time. He's kicked that many, I'm getting confused.
Not hard for you, Ross.
Thanks, Roscoe. There it is. Big Sav will have the last kick. And a perfect way to seal and finish the match.
Well, not really.
But to no avail.
He's missed it.
Completely.
And out of bounds on the fall. It matters little, but a great game from him. He finished up with 8 goals, 2, the big Sav. And Collingwood have broken their drought. They've run out winners 22-12, 144, defeating North Melbourne 12-11, 83. Good sportsmanship there, the Sav and Ian Fairley. And he'll be very happy with his efforts in front of goal. And likewise would Stephen Pitt. He kicked 4. And Paul Williams, he was absolutely brilliant, kicking 5 goals, 4 out of Collingwood's tally of 22-12. But the Magpies, after 8 long weeks in the wilderness, have come back and they've scored a valuable win and over the league leaders. Terrific effort. They haven't played the Collingwood theme song for a long time, but it will get a decent workout tonight. Damien Monkhorst, we spoke at length about his efforts today, certainly made a difference to take on Corey McKernan. And the Collingwood players, they're pretty happy. Jason Wilde, he gave it everything. Probably hasn't got great skills, but boy, is he a goer. And just the sort of player that Tony Shaw would like out there.
They've got a bit to think about, Pete, North Melbourne. It was probably a danger game for them, and you just sense this isn't being smart after the fact that some of the players may have thought that it was a win for the taking, given the depleted Collingwood side. And early door, they started so very well, but Collingwood just kept persisting. You asked me before, Pete, what was perhaps the difference? Well, It was the fact they just kept persisting. They had players right across the lines making contributions. You go through the list of North Melbourne contributions, and quite a few players down on their normal stats as such. And some of the areas to chasing the tackling just wasn't there today.
Final scores here at the MCG. A big upset. 13th place Collingwood victorious over the league leaders 22-12, 144. North 12-11, 83.